Χαίρετε. Οι μικρομεσαίες επιχειρήσεις αντιπροσωπεύουν το 99% του συνόλου των επιχειρήσεων στην Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση. Παρ' όλα αυτά, όπως καταγγέλουν οι εκπρόσωποι τους, αναγκάζονται να ακολουθούν κανόνες και πλαίσια που αποφασίζουν οι Βρυξέλλες με γνώμονα τις μεγάλες επιχειρήσεις που κάνουν ετήσιους τζίρους πάνω από 50 εκατομμύρια ευρώ. Σε αυτές τις ευρωεκλογές, οι μικρομεσαίες επιχειρήσεις της Ευρώπης αποφάσισαν να κάνουν τη φωνή τους να ακουστεί και να απαιτήσουν μεγαλύτερη προστασία και στήριξη από το Ευρωκοινοβούλιο. Ο Petri Salminen, πρόεδρος της Ένωσης Ευρωπαϊκών Μικρομεσαίων Επιχειρήσεων SMEunited, είναι κοντά μας για να συζητήσουμε τα αιτήματα της Ένωσης, μέλος της οποίας είναι και η ελληνική ΕΣΕ. Mr. Salminen, thank you for talking to Euronews.
It's my pleasure. Glad to be here.
So, SMEunited started a European election campaign arguing that Brussels takes decision taking into consideration just the big corporates. Could you explain to us why you say that, and could you give us examples of such decisions?
If we look at the European decision-making and regulation that has been introduced during the last few decades, actually, but especially during the last few years, they tend to include political ambitions, for example, corporate sustainability reporting standards or whatever, and those reporting requirements are usually thought in a way that when you have a bigger company or when there's a listed company, multinational company, they have resources to comply with the, for example, different sorts of reporting requirements. But for the SMEs basically the vast majority of European enterprises are small and medium-sized companies. They don't have human resources divisions or financial divisions. There's just entrepreneur making the reporting or complying with the regulations. So that's the basis for our requirements.
But still, reporting is necessary, isn't it?
To some extent, yes, but excessive reporting or reporting just because of reporting, I think it's not what we or even European Union is after. Think small first. Think how the smallest companies can comply with the requirements introduced, and also how to create level playing field where also the smaller companies can flourish. So basically that changing the mindset of when introducing new legislation, new regulation, that how smaller ones can comply, and then adding something for the bigger ones if necessary.
So what would you say the biggest challenges of SMEs in Europe are today?
The biggest challenge currently is the lack of confidence towards future. We've experienced multiple crises during the last few years. We've seen high inflation, high cost in prices, high cost and in energy, for example, energy prices, for example. So basically, all this has accumulated in a way that SMEs are tracking quite a load with them and trying to build the future at the same time. And now, since the consumer confidence has been down, it definitely has its effect to SMEs and predictability of the business environment of SMEs as well.
SMEunited asks for more financing for the twin transition, but the EU already spends billions of euros for the digital and the green transition. Isn't this money enough?
That it isn't that much that we would need new money or more money, but we would need to use the already existing funding more efficiently and to create competitiveness in Europe. But the most important thing is how do the SMEs also have access to already existing financing. For example, we have problems in different parts of Europe that small companies or new entrepreneurs can't even get bank account. So it's a bit tricky to be competitive, or it's a bit tricky to make investments if you are not able to get a bank account for your company. So the basic things should be in order, and also the SMEs need to be able to invest in new technologies and do these transitions.
The ECB holds interest rates at record high levels. How does this impact SMEs in Europe, and what would your message be to the Governing Council of the ECB for the next meeting?
Definitely, the high interest rates, they have huge impact to SMEs' ability to make investments and to make those investments profitable. So, although, of course, we understand that ECB wants to keep inflation within about 2%, or wants to get the inflation, but it is true that SMEs operating within European Union, they are suffering for the high interest rates and the price of money, and that I do hope that during June meeting ECB will ease up the interest rates a bit.
Now, the Hellenic Confederation of Commerce and Entrepreneurship is a member of SMEunited. In a small market like Greece is, what would you say the biggest challenges for Greek SMEs are, and how can they survive to the competition, the hard competition from Asian and USA companies?
I would say that the biggest challenges are the same in all parts of Europe for the small companies. The lack of predictability, the lack of consumer confidence. But I would say that as an entrepreneur myself, I also see things optimistically, and I think that we entrepreneurs have always been the ones innovating and finding our path to the future in a way or another, but it requires European Union, but also member states to provide a platform that enables entrepreneurs to create businesses that will flourish and to be profitable, make the investments needed. Of course, we are facing fierce competition from other continents, and it just stresses the fact that Europe needs to improve its competitiveness, Europe needs to improve the single market, and Europe needs to, well, think small first.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.